Hey everyone, welcome to Athens. I've spent one night here. I met some of my critique group, but I think they were a little bit too inebriated to remember much of it. So they've done a lot of them have done a trip called London to Athens with Greek Island hopping included. I'm just on the Greek Island hopping part. So it's my first time joining a group where a bunch of them already know each other. So that's going to be an interesting environment to step into as well. But there are a whole bunch of us that are new to it as well. I met with a guy called Greg last night from Sydney. He's only new to it as well, so he's in the same boat as I am, but he seems pretty cool. So yeah, at the moment I'm on my way from my one night accommodation here in Athens to meet to my Katiki's hotel, which is also one night here in Athens. So I'm going to head down there, drop off my stuff, going to do some exploring, and then we meet back at the rooftop bar of this place at 6 PM. And I have no fucking idea from that point on. So kind of a big equivalent of fuck around and find out. And that's basically what we're playing today. Just fuck around and find out. I might meet up with one or two more people, go from there, but we'll see how we get on. Either way, as always, I'm going to enjoy it. Hey team, so just wandering around Athens at this point, I just wanted to show you this building behind me is Hadrian's library, built by Emperor Hadrian in 132 AD. It's amazing that any of it's still standing, let alone as much of it is. And yeah, really quite cool actually. We're going to see a bunch more shit like this, I think, so let's move on. I found a bloke from Adelaide. It's Lawrence. Say hi, Lawrence. He's on my Kentucky, but we haven't actually met up with the Kentucky yet. I met a bloke called Greg last night from Sydney. Actually, we went right there. MS Roof Garden. Yeah. I didn't even realise that. But yeah, we're gonna meander around and see what we can find. Oh, it's still bouncing around Athens. Just gone lunchtime. Still wandering around the gardens. Here we've gone past the monument to the unknown soldier. Gone past the Parliament buildings, a few embassies. The gardens are really quite nice, but one thing I noticed that's different to back home is that they don't have anything telling you what plants are here or anything like that. There's only one sort of food place and it was just ice cream from what I could see. It's a little bit weird, but it's quite nice. And there's a fuck ton of cicadas that won't shut up as cicadas do. But no, it is quite nice. Would you say it's quite nice?
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah. See, I do wonder if you think that because we're overseas.
Yeah.
As opposed to like our own gardens and shit like that.
Yeah.
But no, it is really nice. And it has been a nice walk so far. I think we're about to go up Acropolis Hill, which is meant to give us really good views of Athens, but we'll see how we get. There's the French embassy again, so we're in the right spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the sort of shit that I love. Is just like I've got an idea of where I want to go and how to get there, but if I see something on the way, just going and exploring that a little bit and seeing what I can find. And I do think that's how you come across some of the most amazing stuff that you see on a trip. You can call it urban exploring, you can call it getting lost in a city, call it whatever you want, but I do think that it's one of the best ways to travel, or not to travel, but best ways to be once you're in a new city, and just explore. And it also helps you out if you get lost at some point, and then yeah, you can find your way back a wee bit easier. You should be like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember that, and go from there. So yeah, go exploring when you go out. Don't just sit in your hotel room. Yeah, so a short clip because yeah, this is Athens. All around there. So I'm at the top of Mount Lycabettus. We took a cable car up because fuck that. And this is what we're dealing with from that. Definitely a good decision, I think, don't you? Oh look, you can have a drink up there too. So because we can have a drink up there, guess where we're going? So I just wanted to make a point here that Athens is huge. I'll walk you all around what we can see from Lycabettus. So it sort of just keeps going and going. And going. All the way back there. It just really does just keep going and going and going. It's almost like the only way it ends that way is the Aegean Sea. And I think it kind of ends at Athens. But it's just so sprawling and wide and massive. And I think more than a little bit intense because there's no skyscrapers as such, but most of the buildings that you can see in the background here are sort of 4, 5, 8 stories tall. So it's, yeah, they're not small buildings, but they're not skyscrapers. But oh, yeah, over here I guess there are some close to skyscrapers around this part. But yeah, fuck me sideways. It's a lot. I will say that, it's a lot. So just another fun little random thing that I actually really wanted to see. And it is kind of cool. But this, behind this fence here, was Aristotle's school. Also known as, well, it's now an archaeological site, but this is where Aristotle made his teachings around metaphysics and astronomy and all of his sort of stuff there. Obviously he was a student of Plato and sort of delivered things in a more sober fashion than what Plato did, more down to earth sort of fashion than Plato. But this here in the early annals of history is where he taught all of this stuff. I'm just going to read the thing out because I can't remember all of it. So the library that was at this Lyceum or school was known as the most important library in ancient history, full stop. Which is not surprising considering you had Aristotle and of course his teacher Plato, and then his students are called strollers, and we're all here. So you can definitely understand why that would have been one of if not the most important library in the ancient world. It doesn't look like, obviously it doesn't look like much now because it is an archaeological site where they, I guess, dig around and try and find things, learn new things about anything that was here. I'm sure they find something every wee while, but yeah, should be fun. When I want it, I become an angel. When I want it, I become a demon. Those are the words immortalised by the man whose statue is behind me, George Karaiskakis. He is the man who almost basically led the Greeks to freedom when they were under attack by the Ottomans way back in the day. And I'm just going to come over here because I think I've just spotted something else. But yeah, George Karaiskakis really sort of did what he needed to. And I love that saying, when I want it, I become an angel. When I want it, I become a demon. And that was sort of the two sides of him. War, the demon side, and then, yeah, obviously, the angel side for regular life. But yeah, we'll be back in just a moment, because that right there is the original Athens Stadium for the original Olympiad. So that's freaking cool. We're gonna go check it out and see. So what I'm learning about Athens quite a lot is that food and stuff are quite cheap. Some things are quite cheap, but you do pay for everything. Anything to do with tourism, anything that people want to see, you pay for. So this is where the first modern Olympics were done in 1896. You can imagine all the games going through there. Shot put, discus, hammer throw, etc., and running and whatnot, of course, as well. And the crowd going absolutely mad for it. Excuse me. But yeah, so 10 euros to walk inside there, and that's literally all it is. It's just a walk inside there with an audio guide, but for me it doesn't seem to worth what would be for me 20 New Zealand dollars. I can save that for better uses, I think, later on. Yeah, but it is still really freaking cool. And if I turn around this way, you'll see over here the Acropolis. That is something that I paid for, and it was a fair bit more than 10 euro. But again, can you really say you've gone to Athens if you haven't gone to the Acropolis and walked around and seen the Parthenon and things like that? So I paid for that. I am heading in that direction. Got one more stop first, but I will be heading there quite soon, and then I'll be walking around the Roman Agora, which we saw earlier. I will be checking that out as well, because that looked like a really interesting place to have a look and see stuff. So I'm going to keep walking, and I'll chat with you soon. So we're now coming up on Zapion Hall. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong, I probably am wrong. But this was built in the 1880s for the 1896 Modern Olympic Games, and to hold events and whatnot inside. But nowadays it's used just as a conference hall, but it is still quite stunning, so I wanted to include it in this video. Yeah, because it is quite nice, really, isn't it? All the Greek columns. It's a whole ass thing. And if we walk down just a little bit, we've got quite a lovely fountain now behind me. But yeah, actually we can go inside Zapion, so let's go and do that just quickly. It does look to be not just the front door open, but I wonder if you have to pay for it. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Like I said, it does seem as though you have to pay for anything even slightly touristy in Athens. But we're going to have a quick look, see what we can find. It does just appear to be a room with security guard. But a cute little fountain in there as well. And again, just all the Greek columns that you could ever want, really. But yeah, we're gonna continue onwards and see what else we can discover. Well, I guess now, here we go. I've just gone through the ticket gate for my next place of interest, which is at the top of that. Yep, it's Acropolis time. This is the street of tripods that I'm walking along now, and this is the sanctuary of Dionysius, which is quite cool. Again, just ruins, but cool to know that someone like Dionysius was there. But I think I'm in for quite a hike, so by the top you'll see me will be a sweaty, disgusting mess, but I should be home in time to have a shower before I meet everyone, so fingers crossed for that. Well, fingers crossed I get there in time to be able to have a shower and have a change of clothes, because I already feel quite gross. It is very hot here, as I've said multiple times. Alright, monuments of dramatic poets. But yeah, like I said, it is hot, as I've said multiple times. But yeah, there we go. This is damn cool. Again, it's all just ruins, but it's been here for far too long to really care about that. This is the auditorium of the theatre of Dionysius. So this is where he did a lot of his work. 5th century BC. Jesus. You think that's 2,700 years ago? No, 2,500, sorry, my maths was shit there. We're not in 2,200 now, but yeah. Just fucking insane, really, if you think about it. Just so much in history that most of the world doesn't know, doesn't have a clue about. And if we're completely honest, most people wouldn't have a clue about it. Even historians argue about a lot of the history that has occurred during humankind. So we're going to walk up and I'll see you at the top. We are now at the top of Acropolis Hill, and yeah, you see how amazing these columns are, that's for sure. But we're moving into a bit of a crowded area now. And some people don't like to move, or just walk slower than a wet week. But yeah, very cool. Really cool. Obviously some reconstruction works going on just to make sure that it all stays together, which you can understand. This shit's fucking old. So it's all ruins, different bits and pieces. No, fine. And I just fell over. Slippery rocks. Yeah, well, fine, thanks. Oh, it's okay. Thank you. Yeah, so obviously wasn't paying attention. Rocks are very slippery, and caught a bit of an odd piece of rock and slipped. Not a biggie. But that's what you get when you do these videos and you're not paying attention to where you're walking. So I'm going to shoot off for a bit and back. I'm going to try not to fall over this. I'm on a bit steadier ground now, but I just want to show you the sort of the front of the Acropolis there behind me. You'll see a crane in there because again they are doing restoration works, which you again can understand things that are as old as these are, but it's still really cool to walk around and sort of feel the things that would have gone on here. Well, I can almost say thousands of years ago, because it's before Christ that some of this was built. Yeah, reconstruction. Yeah, the Parthenon was 570 BC, so 2,500 years ago. So, yeah, a little bit nuts to think about. Oh, very nuts to think about, I would say. For me, anyway. It's, yeah, kind of crazy. But very, very privileged and lucky and thankful to be here, to be able to walk around this magnificent structure with all the history that comes along with it. Just picked up a nice wee gust of wind, which feels amazing in this heat. You know, I haven't actually checked in a while how hot it was. Last time I checked it was 34, and that was much earlier this morning. And yeah, so this is the Parthenon. Not the highest point, we were on the highest point earlier, which is just over there. That's the Acropolis Hill. Yeah, so we're going to keep walking around for a little while. I'm going over a slippery bit again now, so I'm going to switch this off and concentrate on where I'm walking so I don't slip over again. And I'll see you guys soon. Head out from Acropolis and the Pantheon now. We've got the Temple of Aristotle over there. I know it sounds dirty, it's not. It's from Aristotle, the mythical king of Athens, obviously from way back, because it's a myth and a king. But yeah, really cool to walk through here. Really, really cool. And just realising that some of these things are, again, up to 2,500 years old, 2,500 years or 2.5 millennia. It's genuinely just insane to actually think about how long that is and how some of these things are still standing. Obviously, a fair amount of it is through restoration works and upkeep, but still, even once you include those, it's definitely kind of insane with how long it is. So we're going to head out and continue on our journey. So on a little, I guess, tour, orientation, I think we're calling it, around near where our hotel is. And the place here, the Little Cook, who has a theme. No one knows when it changes. At the moment, it is Alice in Wonderland. It started at the hole in the wall, and now it's become basically an entire, or half a street. So we've got that on that side. And then if I turn this around, you look at that. It's a little bit, a little bit over the top. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. But still quite cool. It's cold. And I love how the theme just changes.
Yeah, like how much did they spend changing the theme?
Yeah, right.
Or even buying all these little...
Every little bit would just be nuts.